Have you ever imagined being able to change the past? Avengers Endgame is not just a heroic blockbuster. It's a getaway domain-bending concept of time travel.
We go back, we get the stones before Thanos gets them. Thanos doesn't have the stones. Problem solved.
Praying through the land of modern science. Forget everything you thought you knew about confusing paradoxes. Avengers introduced the multiverse and the idea of a closed time curve. A concept that's not only plausible, but surprisingly possible.
Instead, each and every possible outcome actually happens. Only most of them happen in other universes, parallel to our own.
Are you ready to dive into the hidden secret of the universe hiding behind the movie screen? Let's break down how Earth's mightiest heroes dare to challenge the law of physics to save the world.
Really Quantum fluctuation messes with the Planck scale, which then triggers the Deutsch proposition. Can we agree on that?
Have either of you guys ever studied quantum physics? The quantum realm is like its own microscopic universe. To get in there, you have to be incredibly small. I got stuck in there.
Sorry, that must have been a very long 5 years.
Yeah, but that's just it. It wasn't. For me, it was 5 hours.
Are you talking about a time machine?
No. No, of course not. No, not a time machine. This is more like yeah, like a time machine. I know, it's crazy.
If you have seen Avengers Endgame, you might notice something unique from a scientific perspective. The concept of time travel used in this film actually seems more reasonable compared to other time travel movies. That's because this film weaves in several modern scientific theories, some of which do, at least partially, support the Avengers version of time travel. It's also why there are a few interesting tie-ups in the film poking fun at how illogical time travel is portrayed in other movies.
But who? Who told you that?
Star Trek, Terminator, Time Cop, Time After Time,
Quantum Leap,
Wrinkle in Time, Somewhere in Time,
Hot Tub Time Machine,
Hot Tub Time Machine, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Basically any movie that deals with time travel.
Die Hard? No, it's not one.
This is known.
I don't know why everyone believes that, but that isn't true.
The Avengers time machine is inspired by a branch of science called quantum physics, one of the pioneers of which is Albert Einstein. This field studied the behavior of particles within an atom. And honestly, once you delve into this subject, you'll find a lot of easier things, just like what happened to Ant-Man and Doctor Strange. We'll talk more about quantum physics in a bit. But first, let's explore why the Avengers dismissed the typical time machine trope from other fields.
Not if we strictly follow the rules of time travel. That means no talking to our past selves, no betting on sporting events.
I'm going to stop you right there, Scott. Are you seriously telling me that your plan to save the universe is based on Back to the Future?
Who hasn't heard of Back to the Future? It's a legendary sci-fi franchise that deals with time travel with 3 hit movies. The concept is simple. If you go back in time and change something, it will drastically alter the future. This is the most common time travel trope we see in movies. But logically, it's flawed. Scientists refer to it as the grandfather paradox. Imagine you went back in time and killed your grandfather before he had any kids. What would happen? Your father would never be born, and you wouldn't either. But if you were never born, how did you go back in time to kill your grandfather? It's paradox, an impossible loop, and this is exactly what Avengers Endgame tries to avoid.
If we can do this, go back in time, why don't we just find baby Thanos, and...
First of all, that's horrible.
It's Thanos.
And secondly, time doesn't work that way. Changing the past doesn't change the future.
Now, you might be wondering, didn't the Avengers mess with the past too? Like when Captain America fought his past self? Or Thor met his mother again? Or Loki escaped? Will this action mess up the future? Here's where Marvel's being in the parallel universe, or Multiverse Theory. According to this idea, there's not just one timeline, but infinite timeline. Whatever the Avengers did when they traveled to the past didn't affect the original timeline. Instead, it created new branches of reality. These new realities exist independently and don't interfere with the original one. That's why the action didn't ruin the future they came from.
The Infinity Stones create what you experience as the flow of time. Remove one of the stones, and that flow splits. Now, this may benefit your reality, but my new one, not so much. In this new branch reality, without our chief weapon against the forces of darkness, our world would be overrun.
This concept isn't just made up. In real science, the multiverse theory does exist. although not every scientist agrees with it. It's one interpretation of the strange behavior seen in quantum physics. The word quantum comes from quanta, meaning the smallest unit of matter. Particles like electron, proton, and neutron inside atom are considered quanta.
The quantum realm is like its own microscopic universe. To get in there, you have to be incredibly small.
When scientists try to observe this particle, bizarre things start happening. Electrons, which are usually described like tiny planets orbiting the nucleus, were seen jumping from one orbit to another without moving through the space in between, disappearing in one spot and reappearing elsewhere. Even more mind-blowing, pairs of particles could communicate instantaneously, even if they were separated by light years. No delay, no lag.
See, the rules of the quantum realm aren't like they are up here. Everything is unpredictable.
All quantum weirdness. The infamous double-slit experiment.
And the weirdest of all, in a famous experiment called the double-slit experiment, individual particles were fired at a screen through to narrow slit. Surprisingly, they created an interference pattern like waves do, suggesting that each particle somehow passed through both slits at once. Crazy, right?
The conclusion is inescapable. The single electron leaves as a particle, becomes a wave of potentials, goes through both slits, and interferes with itself to hit the wall like a particle.
All of this weirdness happened in the quantum world, but scientists still try to interpret this finding in a way that makes sense in a larger universe. Because the goal of quantum physics is to understand how the universe works at its most fundamental level. But these strange discoveries have sparked endless debate. Even Einstein believed the theory was incomplete, and he died without solving it. Meanwhile, others came up with new interpretation. One of the wildest is the many-world interpretation, or what we now call the multiverse. According to this idea, the unpredictable behavior of quantum particles led to the conclusion that reality itself may split into countless versions.
Why can things in the quantum world hover in a state of uncertainty, seemingly being partly here and partly there? After all, are made of atoms and particles, seem to always be stuck in a single, definite state. We are always either here or there. Other physicists believe that all of the possibilities that exist in the quantum world, they never do go away. Instead, each and every possible outcome actually happens. Only most of them happen in other universes, parallel to our own.
It's exactly the theory Marvel uses, especially in movies like Doctor Strange. There's one more fascinating detail. Tony Stark mentioned something called the Deutsch proposition.
Anything really
Quantum
impossible.
fluctuation messes with the Planck scale, which then triggers the Deutsch proposition. Can we agree on that?
David Deutsch is a quantum physicist and a pioneer in quantum computing. In one of his writings, he introduced the idea of the closed timelike curve, which in simple terms means time travel to the past may be theoretically possible if time is curved in a loop. Imagine a sheet of paper rolled into Möbius Strip.
One last sim before we pack it in for the night. This time in the shape of a Möbius strip. Inverted, please.
The timeline could then travel through the loop and eventually return to its starting point. This concept is what inspired Tony Stark to build his time machine. So, there you have it, some real scientific insight inspired by Avengers Endgame. But in the end, remember that this is still science fiction. These theories are used to support the story and make it more compelling to watch. And above all, it's meant to be entertainment.